Yeah. So, said, okay, your camera is on. Okay.
I don't know if you can see me. Can you hear me? Okay.
Okay. So, as I said, we will be talking today about Canada School, how to apply Canada schools, and don't forget to write down all your questions. We will give rooms for question as well. Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. D, we welcome you. Mr. D is in Canada.
Thank you. Thank
He's,
you.
so we welcome you to today's edition. Yeah. So I'll give the room to you.
Good afternoon. Good
Yeah.
evening in Ghana. We hope you are all well. We'll be mixing up the Tree and the English. I believe that should be okay.
Yeah.
And in the first place, my name is Edward. I'm an international student for Canada. Me wa University of Prince Edward Island, one of the smallest province in Canada. Me a Masters of Education student. Now me a teacher in Ghana. Na
Okay.
GS train maswa na me dwane
I don't understand no Montias here, no. Montias.
GS are punishing me and I'm missing mo head the basi na me dwane. I'm trying to fix my volume.
Ghana Education Service. Ube no.
So that is just about me. I am an international student in Canada. I believe my sound is clear. Me need sound system is maybe so
Sound very clear. Like
okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. So in the first place, I would want to issue a disclaimer. I would be issuing this disclaimer as I carry on. Menya immigration agent, menya connection man. I am not a registered agent. I am not a connection man. Everything I would say here is based on my own experiences and the things I have learned along the journey. So I am not an agent. I am not a licensed immigration agent. Everything I say here is per my personal experience. I would want you to take note of that. My personal experience might not be just equal to yours. So ofa the mefa wa me oka the meka wa no na we relate no to all situation. Oye ne sa na ye then you go by it. Nti mesambo me din ye frame Edward me Masters of Education student Canada ha. A few years na me buy but we have learned a lot along the journey nti. Yes, you bit my share experience kakra said the emu no a wo fie. You bit many information. Minim say prof what me nka say o video na pause.
Yeah, metonka. Na me
Okay.
na man kofu bi.
Very good. Very good. Enti be here no niema ne dawson, but we will try as much to get everyone on board. We have 41 amazing people here. Say the be also nyonko be unya information we no wa no just share the platform, tap the likes. At least let's get to 1K likes so we can start the information session. Yen pese e be start na e be se e koye ni mi e ba echi yen penisa. So yeah, let's tap the screen and share so we can start. So we can just do enough by tapping the screen and sharing the screen. We have 3 shares. Yeah, no ntini e wa ha de, but said the be ya nipa dodo na bitima be kan ho said the yen kɔ ne ensamba echi no. That is why we are asking you to tap the screen and share. So at least we can get to 1K likes, then we can start the information. Let's tap the screen and share. We are moving. And yeah, no ntini e wa ha de. Anyway, good afternoon once again. Good evening in Ghana. Good day wherever you are. Say the midi can your friend me Edward. Me an international student. Me work University of Prince Edward Island. Canada. Study in Canada. Nuntin ye to give you information. Inti the medical and say me presentation. Me presentation we are. Oh, question bia na watchro. In between my presentation, all the question eba na e de ebekọ anima ba echi e se be ha adwin. Nti wo question bia na stay with us. Ye nche bebre na we put two question it down na wabusa. The edikan medical aka say opese usua de e wo Canada, you need a lot of planning. That is the first thing.
Okay, I don't know if you can talk briefly about the American lottery whilst others are joining before you start. Like you can start like
Okay.
2 minutes.
On American lottery, the American lottery, the visa diversity program, American lottery. Me yeah, man, we need. So American lottery, prof say me nika enke no ho asem kakra before say nipa ne beba. American lottery ni na ni ye fe no the diversity visa program. Diversity visa program program be America they buy several years ago. The purpose of the diversity program is to increase diversity in America. You can say diversity you bring nipa cool from different parts of the world to come to America to come and work and live in America. In the diversity visa program no afie bi America for ye, afie bi America for ye. Afie we nso ebeba so. Nyame adom a when ebusumi ya yesimi October yesimi, em say 4th of October and the year ase. When it comes to the diversity visa lottery, the most important thing is one thing I may encourage you DIY. One kasabit my diversity visa lottery will fee. It doesn't take a lot of things to do the diversity visa lottery. Into the one here can say a passport picture. Obeka kocha or passport picture, white background. Kocha passport picture now. Catch will say ope American size. American size. No mean if you one kasa uncha, you will not get the best quality. So just go to a professional photographer and take an American size passport picture. An American size, unya ko professional photographer biya wa unya kaseme pa American size passport picture unim dia woka. Nti ebeshere mo say one of the top reason the entire nipa be and go through the visa lottery need because they don't take the right size picture. Visa lottery my end is several years. Say even ultra blank page now we upload the ebeko. It will be uploaded say why but when the system is shuffling the or shuffling where you win is now so picture no if there was a mistake with it automatically you'll be dropped so it is advisable ube check if photo requirements no online DV lottery program sites na omo photo requirements no ho utua picture na e wo se wasoba e wo se ubie wani na all the features of your face should be clearly captured enkote sumu ba bi nkotwa picture na enkote photographer 2x4 bi hona onkotwa picture bi as wani akata wani abie so the most important thing when it comes to the visa lottery is your picture. When you take a very good picture, maybe actually in between me, we nube se me no musu kakra because humidity will kakra nti. So a crowman should be a water bottle. One of the cultural shocks I'm missing. Aqualau, penio, ubi a water bottle. In Tijamia Adumna Babidua, you get used to it. So the diversity visa lottery program is starting in Nami Aduma. I'm say Wednesday and I say Thursday. Idea one kasa obeti my Nami Aduma. The site never to your page and so our WhatsApp. Oko Google now type DV program. DV program. Me ankasa make say me o follow me or TikTok ha. My video a match mu bebree. And before I say about to also crack Canada study application, obi will question be about DV lottery now. Mubet me at their 2 comment box in na me di hun komo. Ebrekwa nipa dodo na joining for Canada study permit no.
Media handle no more follow TikTok. So there
media handle ni TikTok ni Edward, Facebook here Edward. Baby I EDD_word. Nti Edward na nti eno na me de nante nti mpacho obi wo DV lottery ho question bi a otimi busa wa ha na meyi ano because nipa dodo na anya ba for mini akwadwo ban ni abeka me ho ha mani age yie panti nti me pacho obi wo DV lottery ho question bi atimi the 2 comment box ni na makan ni meyi ano but me who any question see I don't know if you can carry on into the main subject of the day nti me san bobo su biema DV lottery no American lottery obi o say please can I someone applying for F1 still Yes, this question. Obi Wisa say or apply for F1. But what on F1 the American study permit. Obi Wisa say or apply F1 or wait me apply visa lottery na. This thing is quite tricky. The funny thing about applying for a DV lottery is say anytime you apply for DV lottery, the state office of America knows you have applied. It is a woko visa interview for F1. Ni ebusa say wa apply DV lottery da. Now cause I apply bida, I think it would have an effect on you. The thing about visa application is say anytime you go for a visa interview, say the truth. What apply lottery does, my apply that. So that's the only thing I can say about that. They say when you don't win the visa lottery, you can't travel legally. When you win the visa lottery, you can't travel legally. When you have, I don't really get your question. If you can frame your question again. Okay, we are taking 5 more questions on DV lottery, then we will move to the subject of the day. So 5 more questions so we can move to the subject of the day. We have 59 amazing people here, and I think most of us are here for the Canada study permits. And no say abaso, you say mfia ba eni nti no na nipa dodo na ni gye ho nti. Se question bia ni ho dia nipa be 5 type move na magia to say yenko yanim. DV no it means diversity visa. Diversity visa. Ni full meaning ni diversity visa program. So okay, nipa dodo na see a movie. So I think we have to move ahead to the subject of the day, the Canada study permit. Many can be braced or pen, ne paper, some of the information we are going to give are very relevant. In the also pen, ne paper. Now the two one kasa ne bebo. The edi kan make say Canada study permit no abotre any planning. And lastly, nyankopon ehone de me mfem ba mu bebre because when it comes to issues of faith obi ane ne de we abotre any planning. Taking your time and planning carefully. The ma planning ba mu bebrebe because Canada study permit yenko interview. Bibia ye online. Inti se one tena se na one nya woniama yi a obeye petre no akọ submit no asam be start bim. Unlike US ni other embassies na wo akwanya se wa begina broni nani maka won sem no, Canada niema no ni na wo paper so. Inti se anya admission ni niama ni ya obekwa no akọ the edikan no ene no we are mainly talking about study permit application. Visa application need the share so today we are discussing how to apply to Canada schools. At the end of the day, what's a way when you want to apply. So this is how we start. The edikano Canada o mind be a pa. Canada is a very big place. If you plan to study in Canada ne soon ubia ne baby or pese oko. There were 10 provinces Canada. And there were 3 territories in Canada. Provinces now, as I said, regions. No? So there are 10 provinces in Canada and 3 territories. We have the area Ghana yati Canada why Toronto. Toronto Ontario. Into your provinces ni will be your Alberta, your New Brunswick, your Prince Edward, where I am, your Quebec, your Saskatchewan. These are the provinces of Canada. Before you decide this is study or Canada, no, the first thing you have to do is to know the province you want to study. Because knowing the province you want to study will go a long way to decide your future. The entire province I study say because Canada is not a country like Ghana. Unlike your crow Ghana na emre wo Ghana na chichiro bi o Ghana no, Canada na emra ne ntisa emra wo Ontario no enye the same emra na wo Prince Edward. Okay. Canada is a federal state. Inti emra ne bi wo ho e wo Saskatchewan be enye adwuma wo Ontario. Emra ne bi wo Yukon territory enye adwuma wo baby. So it is better to understand where you want to study before you even move. So if you want to study in Canada, the first thing is you have to research the province you are going to. Province way, anyway, I'm a person me call. A DNG and person me call our province no. In me personal experience, I divided Canada provinces into two. That is from me personal experience. Me divided Canada provinces into two. Number one, province a obeko adwuma wo ho benya adwuma ye, especially yen a yetu kwan ase yen say then iska de betua school fees ye pese ye be adwuma ne ade no. Sa provinces no adwuma wo ho ne ade a obetima ye adwuma. Then number two, provinces na ho no ase adwuma nse then ni ho be school fees ni wo form. Enti me de tutu Ghana ho a ye na ye nimu na Canada province machemu two, either say ubeko school southern Ghana, that is Greater Accra, Ashanti region, Western region, where it is quite expensive to stay, or you go to school in the northern Ghana, where it is quite cheaper, but it is hard to find jobs in northern Ghana. That is how I have divided it. That's how me see. So if you want to study in Canada, the first thing is understand the region you are moving to Canada. And yes, what is obi school when to no, you first have to understand where you want to move to. So there are 10 provinces in Canada. Okay, I want to go to Manitoba. Why do you go to the internet, ask with questions about Manitoba, know the reasons why you are moving to Manitoba. So if you want to, especially when it comes to the provinces, and Yama also checking, ask about PR options. You can't PR a permanent resident. Ye na you to say Canada na yeba no, say be school ni yeba, but nipa dodo na kwan abefa so atena Canada nti na woba. Enti say wo choose baby akọ school a also who say aha na me choose no, me wie school a me pese me tena Canada e what is saying. That is the first question I will say obisa ho. Number two, aha na me choose no jobs at the same me per juma ya at the same. That is another number two. Number three, what is the living expenses in this area? And then I mean Timu Prince Edward, mitua $700. So that we will be Timu Ontario, bet you about 1,200. So these are some of the balances you have to do before you decide on the region you want to study in Canada. This is not part of the academic process, but this is part of your own reason. And Yama also dream, okay, so I decided, me personally, me decided to idea of Prince Edward, because among all the provinces in Canada, Prince Edward is the easiest province to get registered as a teacher. That is why I came here. So you know yourself, you know what you are looking for. So you have to decide where you are going. That is the first step. Now you have decided on the province you want to go based on what you have decided. Make be say there are two types of provinces according to me. There is a province where you can get jobs and other things, and there is a province where you cannot really get jobs, but schools are cheap. So this is how you are going to search for your schools. I'm giving you two scenarios. A friend me Kofi, me free Ghana, me person me call Canada. Sorry, I have a guest. Come in.
You're on there, are you?
Yeah.
I have Karen fill this out for my registration for my cars. I didn't know it was due.
Okay.
And she can't, it won't accept the submit.
Yeah, so
Can
our
you
guest
help you?
will be right back.
Okay.
So while the meeting is
Sorry.
going on, you can put your questions, and then after that, we will take a few questions. Yeah, our guest will be
Ready.
okay. Let me connect you back.
I was not from Baton Fancher, me fear na Obama in Chamber with my seven gakra. I had you two move. Omuti Ibo rad them to say Domino Nede.
Oh, I see.
Auntie, they're not making. Hope I saw Basco or Canada. Me were two scenarios. Your friend me Kofi. Me person me go school or Canada. And he found a menko. Menko baby a menya adwumayo. And I say menko baby a school nefu. The cheapest schools in Canada are in the Atlantic regions of Canada. The Atlantic regions of Canada are the provinces Nipa and Sheden Niho. And then a Nipa Bahakakra. About 5 years ago, Nipa and Sheden Niha. Into this area, no schools ni boye for Kakra. These provinces include Prince Edward, where I am. New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Saskatchewan, and which one of them? Manitoba.
Okay.
So, say who you be? Usika semu said that sorry you manisus minaso. Now open school at F4. These are the areas you are looking at.
Okay.
Prince Edward, Nova Scotia, Manitoba. This what we call the Atlantic regions. Name the disadvantage of going to the Atlantic regions no so ho. Name it is difficult to get part-time jobs. In the Atlantic regions, school near 12,000, 14,000 a year. Before anything, studying in Canada is not cheap. Get that in your head. I will come to ways and means. Ways and means were, but before anything, TSS studying in Canada is not cheap. What you call cheap relatively is not cheap. They may make 12,000, almost 100,000 Ghana cedis, so it is not cheap. And if you want cheap schools in Canada, you target the Atlantic regions. Regions now acting who free Ontario, Nikura, Prince Edward, Nova Scotia, Manitoba, New Brunswick. And schools now, the cheapest schools in Canada are in these areas. Because a hundred and depend and first, I know schools are free, and then for any bar and a nipa bamonti, Manitoba, and schools near free. That is just about school selection and choosing your region. The may born a tough one when it comes to choosing your region. Shedanaye investigation about where you want to go to school. If you are looking for cheap schools in Canada, look at the Atlantic regions, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Manitoba. These areas are cheap. Name who you be or say, me pese me ye adwuma na me di tua me school fees. And now when it's Ontario, Saskatchewan, British Columbia. A school fees the Rebecca chose 30,000, 25,000. Oh, yeah, lucky Albania side job. Aye, and easy, but it is doable. I don't advise people to say bra Canada be a jumana 50 or school fees because it is not easy. Make no crash now. Nina munu ye ko ye nima ye beka ho asem. So now let's go to school selection and program selection. This is one of the most important parts. I will say utie because I had no mistake. I had no refusing nipa be brave sano. Program selection. What is program selection? Obi wo ho a o te se Canada na nti o pese mi kobi. Oh, yes Canada pai me de course bi om de memam bia meye pacho nya course bia na ye. That is the reason why most of you are getting visa refusals. Enye course bia na ye. We decide this obeko school e was Saskatchewan no. We decide say University of Saskatchewan na abeko no. We decide say University of Prince Edward na abeko no. Then the next question is a DM program and a mekoye. That is the most important question when it comes to being a student, an international student. What program do I want to go and do? Before I say Yebeka program, no one say me who be a man can one say me very important in Timamindi can answer. When it comes to choosing your school, we decided region every me call Nova Scotia na me co school no. Nova Scotia no e hosun. Prince Edward a hands to be brave better hasun. Ontario is the Ontario susun. Would you also person Ontario? Ontario no school ben me person me call. Your nyama mienu a wose wo check. Who pen and no run it down. When you are selecting a school, there are two things you have to check. Number one, is the school a DLI? You can write it down. School number me kono a DLI na. DLI in it say designated learning institution. A DLI. School na me hu na me pese me kono. School na me bra bi se me apply no. School na boy bi se me apply bi no. A DLI na. Number two, does the school offer postgraduate work permit? PGWP. Does the school offer postgraduate work permit? These are the two questions you have to ask yourself before you choose a particular school. So is the school a DLI school? And number 2, does it offer postgraduate work permits? Yɛka sɛ school be a DLI a ɛkyerɛ sɛ school a Canada aban ne kwan sɛ ɔmfa international students. Sɛ school no any DLI number wobɛnya admission bɛ wontumi mfa nkɔpɛ visa. Normally agye wo study online. Nti yɛwɔ Canada website bi wɔ hɔ a yɛdi nkɔmmɔ emebie. Saa website no na abɛkɔ akɔhwɛ all the DLI schools. Nti de di kan said the medi kan hwehwɛ Canada school a ɛwɔ sɛ ɔhwɛ sɛ school no ɛwɔ DLI. School bi a ɛwɔ DLI no ɛwɔ ni DLI number. Ipatɔ me ɛnkɔ me laptop ne so kakra na mimbi ɛno na mo hwɛ ne sisi a me laptop ne dum. Afana me so nti munya wotre. So you always must be sure whether your school is a DLI. DLI side need the ana ensure any problem. But the one thing you have to check mostly ni say my school no offer postgraduate work permit na. That's my school offer postgraduate work permit. Say school now offer you know, if it does not offer postgraduate work permit, it means when you finish your school in Canada, you have to go back home. And most people don't know this. Oh, yes, it's school way. Oh, apply I be foul. Oh, apply I be foul. Now I apply. Oh, apply near foul. Unim no akutia. Madam Fubinya be the same thing. Otia $3,000 no bar school no bedu I school no does not offer postgraduate work permit. Into a course school ni 2 years ni we also kofi. Obi busa say postgraduate work permit ni cry then. Postgraduate work permit ni yes say. Your selected schools be a okwa na we are. Canada buying no ma kwan ma wo ye adwuma e wo Canada. Normally, so be 1 year program Canada buying no ma 1 year postgraduate work permit. Obey 2 year program Canada buying no ma 3 years is a fire adwuma e wo Canada. Obey 4 year undergraduate program Canada buying no ma another or ma 3 years se fire adwuma. So normally, it is advisable say as an international student at Oba School Canada no. Ye na ye di tu say sebi ade ndie no ho atɔ ye nipa dodo na ye ba Canada say ba betena. Say why you say oba obesan kɔ fie dia no problem. Ubetima kɔ fa school a on offer postgraduate work permit. But if ye wo dachi ye wo ani so ade hu say uwie school a obetena krom ha dia, you have to choose a school that offers postgraduate work permit. But
Yeah, we can hear you.
okay. Me try say me connecting my laptop na. Okay. Enti ye be call my laptop no so. I'm sure say mo be hu me screen no.
Yeah.
Enti say wo search schools na. Wako Google. Why your investigation we busa nkofo Canada ehimfa na me ko school a ebeboa me obi ase bia ko Nova Scotia eho ubenya nkrata ntem obi nso se ko Prince Edward obi nso se ko Saskatchewan obi se ko British Columbia what did this an komuni na wie emi a kire oba bi akọ afi do pese okọ school wo ho o pese okọ school a eno an se okọ Google anu abo DLI. Would they just bought DLI keke and I say bought DLI schools in Canada. Now enter. About DLI o first search na ebeba no. Ya tro designated learning institution list www.canada.ca. That is the one you have to look at. My network is quite slow this evening. I don't know, but I think we are still making progress. Maybe be never be brave on my laptop on this international students are money project. So my laptop is not really working for me this evening. So to me, I think it's almost here now. Okay. So when you find designated learning institution list, this is the official website of the Canadian government, where who BBR say you are on the wrong path. So when you visit this website, scroll back down, scroll back down wa ebema list of schools where I am. My laptop is just messing me up this evening. Anyway, I think let's carry on. I'm trying to get this thing, but let's carry on. So when you visit this website, I was say who say school now pese okono. Ya tro say or your DLI na the postgraduate work permit yes. That is what I wanted to show you. Schools ni bi wo ha obehwe no ni atro DLI number but postgraduate work permit no. HSS school no wi a untimi nya adwuma wo Canada ban be mu akofie. Ebe ti sese bi ye nuanom wo US na US wi school a unless you nya sponsorship and also be ware ma onkrata also okofie. So if you want to study in Canada, first you have to study in a DLI school and a school that offers postgraduate work permit. And yes, sir, uwie school obebe fee. That is what I wanted you to know. And anytime you are looking for a school, make sure the school is a DLI institution and it offers postgraduate work permit. You have to take that into consideration. I'm still trying if I can open this thing, but okay, let's see this. Okay, very good. Put the website in this one. It is something like this. So see, list of designated learning institutions by province and territory. Choose the province. And see, me choose province now. Maybe I'm a person me call Ontario. Oko Ontario. This is the list of schools in Ontario. Into your ABC Access College or Brampton. But okay, I say offers eligible programs. No. That means ABC College or your DLI school ni DLI number ni. But oko sa school we na we school a unya krata anya adwuma wo Canada.
Wow.
So there are several schools omu need DLI. And one interesting thing is say odo hu kwahye connection man sir. Most of these schools are omu need postgraduate work permit no. Omu ye private schools. Admission easy. Into connection man be yes school na man. So always visit this site to make sure say. And this is another interesting thing I'm a person Oshe school we are your friend Adler Graduate Professional School. Ni DLI number ni or Toronto offers PGD eligible programs. Yes, but details. Yes, but details ni say any better assemble enye program ni na PGD eligible. I don't know if you are following me. So you always have to check these things. But say who school be near trust say yes sir. She say this is one of the easiest schools you can get admission to. Angloma University. Ni DLI number ni main campus.
Okay.
Does it offer postgraduate work permit? Yes. That means irrespective of the program you would study at Angloma University, automatically when you finish at Angloma, you have a postgraduate work permit. But the moment you see that details need to say asem won nti you click details way so a obem say better say program way. So when you see you click yes no see in that school it is only masters of psychology and doctor of psychology and they are eligible. The other was a school no eligible.
Okay.
So it is very important for you to know the school you are applying to. Is my school a DLI school? Which in most cases it is a DLI school. However, is my school having a postgraduate work permit or does my school offer postgraduate work permit? If it is a no, that means that when you're watching so better in Canada, ubebe fee. I mean, no niasem. Me abusuan sika ni ade dia ma me am didi kroma. Me sa kwesi kotoka dia ma me be me.
Now, before you continue, so you don't just wake up and say, "I'm going to this school." You need to find information
Very
and
good.
answer connection might be a maze, menyat bishi we amount, person corners who diso.
Sir,
I see,
the
I see.
connection man because many school or Canada. But our school no nyama no, they don't offer postgraduate work permit. And nothing admission in ban 10 terms are no. Especially when schools no more offer postgraduate work permit. And we are more like they take a lot of time to process admission. Yeah, was school be or Toronto, your friend can college who apply ne. You better Tuesday no more admission. But omo offer postgraduate work permit. Oh, enti saa nneɛma ne yɛ nneɛma a ɛwɔ sɛ yɛhwɛ ne yie ansa na. Enti mepacho at this point no be what question be about DLI any postgraduate and pacho the better comment box in the next 1 minute na my answer na ya so. This way mepacho questions related to the mechanical na meet me answer sisi auntie.
So gift also a question. You can type it and then we will.
Can you decide to stay there without working after you complete? Can you decide to stay there? Yes, when you okay, you have to work to get there. The thing is, unya postgraduate work permit now, and umuna befadia kunya or permanent residence. Do you understand me? Because depending on baby a war, and anytime I say researching about your area is very good. No, me baby a me school within 6 months, bet menya permanent resident. Or Toronto I be a ording because Toronto no nipa PR ne Dawson. Let me Hamba College, please. Yes, I know Hamba College offers postgraduate work permit, but that is for you to check. Can you just go and change the schools for? Yes, that is an option. Idea back years will be getting admission into postgraduate work permit schools no be heading. Into be much that apply schools and offer postgraduate work permit because and when you're competitive, like Nipa be apply. But why would you even do that when you can easily get? I don't know how complicating your mama. We say, is it legal to work? You do have me maybe you are having relative there, but you don't want to go for and also just stay with us. Can an SS graduate also apply? Yes. May do application, may do all. But SS graduates can apply. You can come to when one saw Canada, they almost the difference between Canada and US is that Canada wants money, US wants quality. Into US Bema scholarship or admitted scholarship students, a mom scaso mumbesian there. The Canada is scanning in here, who is but there are scholarships in Canada. I will talk about that. Good work for the newbies to DLI can say okay, very good, very good. Some of us just joined. Okay, sorry. So the school will not no schools provide accommodation, but you pay. Please, we'll be moving very soon. If you have any questions regarding DLI and postgraduate work permit, please ask. Is the postgraduate work permit limited to the city you are in? Yes. For example, yeah, very good question. I forgot to talk about that. For example, postgraduate work permit is only limited to where you are. My school or Prince Edward. Me 3 years. I'm allowed to only work within Prince Edward. I cannot move out of my PR. Number that is fine. And if you know your PR, some of the provinces they will give you PR because you want to stay. But your PR means permanent residency. So postgraduate work permit is limited to where you study. You cannot get postgraduate work permit in Ontario. Now, there be Oh, so I think there are no more questions. So 5 people type we move, then we can continue. There are no more questions about postgraduate work permits. There are no more questions. Okay, so we move. There are no more questions about postgraduate work permits. So we move. Okay, so we move. Yeah. Thank you all. Then, and yes, now tap now share. Just tap the screen. Okay, please, is it compulsory to offer a postgraduate program in relation to your first degree? I'm just going to talk about that. I know I'm become one seminti. Train me wahaya. Me pacho men wahakeke. Tap. We are not any gift near waha. We are here to share information. What the answer? Tap the screen and share. Na onyon kuntu ensum information nibi. Ema connection man. Sebi. Being quadrusi kenni. What I say, connection man be any one will be wembezi. Information keke. The difference between you and the connection man, information. information any board in Tina connection man edge will be $10,000 for school application. Now what $10,000 so they come a connection man. Me 2,000 cedis. That meaning anyway, that was just by the way. So we can move now. Say you know, what who DLI schools, what who postgraduate work permit near the what's the sanya man say. So now you want to choose your school. You want to choose your school. And Yama now be share when you are choosing the school. What are some of the things you have to look at? Why do you say? I will talk about that. I'll get there. Please, let's hold on with the questions. Yes, are not confusing me because I'm watching the screen and I am forced to read the screen because I'm watching it. So let's hold on with the questions. Let me flow. I do questions I made the baba. So she say, what decide this? Oh, a person may go school or Nova Scotia. A person may go school or British Columbia. And as me decide this, make you see school back or make you see school back. She said, me say me fa Saskatchewan and I'm fast school Prince Edward and I had ye na me buy. So ye di kan say open so choose school uni nkofo ni nkomo ni pe wa kwentum apart from say nkomo kran why go online search for information that be make say bibia ni wo any YouTube me ba kro ma benku na minim kan benku misua kan wo YouTube me misua benku kan e wo YouTube bibia ni wo busa YouTube on kire busa YouTube say what is the best province to study in Canada if I want a PR. Obema videos be brave. Choco millionaire no ye videos. Nipa be brave videos. Men fa data no sebi. Manu sisumina so. Men fa data ni kwasi asem. Sebi umpenifo mofuma no ncheme. Use the data wisely. Commit energy to searching. Share information. Help me, my application. Mentua once the amubia. From start to finish, so be wa no nim say me tua once the man be won ka se me boa. I did everything myself. So you can do everything. Let's continue. Now, where decide they say Obeko school or Saskatchewan, me person me call Ontario, me dem person me call Tina Krum, me call school or Alberta, me person me call Tina I want to go to Quebec, I want to go here. At the end of what me choosing your school, because when it comes to choosing a school, what should I consider? When it comes to choosing a school, what should I consider? Number one, you should consider the ranking of the school you are applying to. Consider university now we're applying, especially for graduate students. I don't know, most of me in common about graduate students because I'm a graduate student. I know some about undergraduates, but some of them are very related. So if you are applying to a school, especially for graduate students, consider the ranking of the university. That was one of the mistakes. Nipaduduana yenti amunya admission. Unyati university ni dia I say $100 no akojiska no ako apply bi. I see $50 no apply bi. But university now apply no. It is the highest ranked university in Canada. In this university now apply no. You are going to compete with people minimum compete minimum academic credentials. But always check the ranking of the university you are applying to. Me in case you university however, she body who na fa win ubu anoma or she no ho no de anwi bu. Inti sebi o class ni class mu odu ye de ibi. Anti amani anti brakufima class ni bi 3 point ni 2 point ni bia no ahwe ho any school no akope. The top class universities were Canada, McGill near the Adeno, or the second class lower, any upper because the people applying to them are top class. So always make sure you know the ranking of the university you are applying to. Always apply to low rank universities. That's my advice. Apply to low rank universities and then easy. So Benya, unless you know yourself to be a very exceptional student, unless you're a very exceptional student, I don't advise for you applying to high-rank universities. So that is your job to do. Then the second thing you have to look out for when you're applying to a university is the cost of the program. How much is the program? Ni boy is saying, ni na ko invest in website Obi or say, oh, Brady, school, me apply, man, buy almost in 21,000. It is your own problem because you decided not to look for. Because you say Dikobi, you say Sami Kobi, you say Makobi, also apply. So you should know the cost of the program you're applying to. call university website now be a program now we check fees and tuition we want say program cost no ho school be any moon state you abroad for more information see into you call program cost I'll be who say ho and then be also checking you also have to check the language proficiency and no beba we know a beba next one munti next thing say check acceptance rate of the school. What check school ni ranking? Oh, school no any school a nipa bebree apply sa nti school ni wo form nti nipa wo apply as ubenya. What check school no acceptance rate? School be one acceptance rate as low as 40%. E be just say nipa 100 apply on be move 40. Nti buza so we sure so beti me 40 nim. So always check for the acceptance rate. Schools and acceptance rate worth throw no. E say we apply likely say ubenya. So look for the acceptance rate, the university ranking, the cost of the program. Any man, that is the things you have to do when you are looking for the school. Now let's go to the main thing for today, admission. How to get admission to the school. What are the things that are needed? What should you apply for? The kind, there were several programs I beat me in Canada. There were diploma programs, there were certificate programs, there were undergraduate program, there were master's degree, there were diploma certificate programs. So there are several programs I beat me in Canada. Oh, yeah, undergraduate, I will be here 4 years. Maybe a master student, maybe 2 years. So when we masters now, per se, obey another masters, and also asem ho be kan ho asem. So depending on what you are doing, we now be decide the program how person. One of the questions I may tell you, I say me or HND program ben and meet master in part of Canada, they don't accept HND. Until me for HND, MBA year master's degree waha. Oh, HND, the best thing I'll bet my so bet my colleges no, bet my colleges no. So these are the type of schools in Canada. Your colleges and your universities. Ye ka college a emane nya wadwen say eye SS Ghana. Aha ne ka college a post secondary education. It is say ye kurom ho technical universities no. Ghana Technical University. Enti say o qualification, we say be qualification ni nim anim bebre. Na opese wo call colleges it is acceptable minimum be 54-year-old man waba college wo Prince Edward ha fi Ghana waba college wo Prince Edward ha. So always look say especially o class ni wo form o nya second class lower o pass ni shede nya papa you should target the colleges. Opese wo call universities no so asem wo ho. What are the documents you need to apply for a school in Canada? That is one of the things I want to talk about. And then also, people a bit mature. A document ben I'm here if I want to apply for a school. Number one, ube here official and unofficial transcript. Official and unofficial transcript. Transcripts. Yeah, we all know what the transcript is, so I need not to explain. So the unofficial transcript here, the one kasa wako school no wako jeno. Wako school no wako jeno. Ube here sa transcript no. Ube scan it no upload it. So that is the unofficial. Then for the official transcript, it was a call school, who call a maybe call University of Ghana, and I'm saying call University of Education. Into me call University of Education when I'm catching and say me call assume see school or assume see on my address ni me person would on my transcript a command. Sometimes most of us think say sad man difficult to do because sorry to say we are lazy. One of the reasons why I had not studied abroad for now, for me, was laziness. Because bufu say maybe sorry, I go University of Ghana and I'm go chin chin. But if you don't do it, nobody will do it for you. One person also show him crying. One day, me one I'm saying no, my bre, I will go. I started chasing my lecturers around. Now me nim class academic reference, neji is so easy. Some of us are thinking, say, me kwa who lecturer no say so I don't know for your school, but for University of Ghana, it was quite easy for me. So the official transcript, oko university academic officer, udi wudin mom, the school ni address mama. Me University of Ghana the 3 days. Me call school website, no ma send their mom. So that is one thing you have to take note. Number two, ube here wo academic CV. We are talking about document here when you are applying for a school. You need your academic CV. Academic CV is quite different from the normal CV. Where we are university, why apply juma, Sa CV now they apply adwuma no enkofa no enkonko school admission e be refuse. Academic CV no you're quite different from your normal work CV, because the academic CV no, it should talk about your research projects in the past. Some or reference now be reference, it should be some lecturers are dealing in the past. So your academic CV is quite different from the normal CV we use for job applications. So what I would advise you to do is go to YouTube, search videos on how to create an academic CV. There are a lot of videos for you. You didn't so so go to YouTube and search videos on how to craft an academic CV. It is not just the normal CV. The most important part of an academic CV is that it should state your academic records. When it comes to academics, publications, papers that you have written, scholarships that you have got along the line. It is possible to do it. Number 3, here for Canada admission, you need an SOP. This is where we have the biggest problem, an SOP. An SOP is a statement of purpose. Why do you want to come and study this program? There are any so I'll come back to something. Why do you want to go and study in Canada? SOP. And then I'm connection and you're lazy when it comes to writing an SOP. Into us, oh, my fan connection man be non man. Connection man be be the troy. No, the acquire the amount. School ni share ya acquire serious no appear to baby. Don't forget one thing about schools in Canada, Canada application in and say revision of the documents, it's not done by human beings. And any panel AI, like machines near they are doing a review. And the document work or copy over there 2 years ago now they are broma. Automatically you'll be pushed somewhere. Sit down and write your own SOP. We a teacher ni na person ko masters of education. We a businesswoman. Na person ko masters of business. And we a topic of another day. Learn to write your own SOP. Then another thing is here. Sometimes you'll be asked to submit a sample of a writing, especially if you are going for a research program. This program, writing sample, writing sample work be a watcher in the past. Those who know what I'm talking, they know. You can see a movie fast. Then lastly, they will ask you for recommendation. Canada schools, a fan bebusa for 2 or 3 recommendations. Recommendation, when it comes to the universities, they don't do that. Obebusa lecturer needing any academic email of institutional email, sign a friend. Email at school be din chatwo into who lecture no lecture and person me di udin ye say or the din email mawa na o the akọ submit say that is the document you need. So I wanted to talk about something that I forgot. Just 1 minute, please. Just 1 minute. Sorry, I am back. So far, we have discussed about choosing the province you want to study, deciding that you will study with the DLI school and a postgraduate work permit school. Then the document you need for the application. There was something important that I missed that I need to go back to. So permit me to go back to it. After we decided say ubeko school way no. The decision is program ben na me pese me koye. What program do I want to go and study? You don't just go for a program because everybody is applying for the program. So I was saying, say, one of the reasons are the refugee and visitors more, especially we coming from Africa. If you want to choose a program in a school, there are 2 things you have to consider. your program of choice should be based on your previous education or your current employment. Please take note of this. Program it should be based on your previous education or your current employment. Me work Ghana na me a teacher. Me a political science for University of Ghana. Me pese me be masters for Canada. Me say political science na ye me de. Inti pese me koye political science. My apply political science and my university na my admission. Me copy visa. Visa officer be catch them me say, no be our political science who we school 2014. Then after na copy masters I am. Me hear abruche na opa ba me ma visa. So it is very important to be particular about the program you are choosing because it will go a long way to influence the visa officer's processing. So always keep in mind that this program I am picking, it is relevant, it is important with my previous education or my current employment. My first visa refusal minyaye. Me de me share connection man bin sa 2017 more baby. And I'll compare business program be me 1 year business program or so and once what I could do now then same. So answer no mo catch them money bia. You refuse me visa na mantias here and now me sua de no na me hu say why a political science when you business be as me a business diploma. It doesn't make sense. So always choose a program based on something you are doing now or based on your previous education. School need will apply on the file. They will pick you. Me fan say okoye criminal studies. Diploma. De be ma. But the ba asem na akoka kire visa officer no die enti na person okoye criminal studies. Do you understand me? To say me say me a teacher ni wo Ghana. Me ko apply a masters of education and a me admission. And I me catch a visa officer say, "Oh, me a teacher ni me ko University of Ghana enti ma education. Enti me kira de no na me bre e wo madichire mu. Me bre wo madichire mu enti no e ma me tu me hofo and me ko ye 1 year postgraduate diploma e wo Winneba. Me wie 1 year postgraduate diploma no e ma me hu say me sua de no come anim wo education mu e beboa me enu nti na me koye masters of education. Does this not make sense? So your story, the program you are picking, no, it must connect to your story. And yes, yes, program we ufa ubenya na connection man no afa program ba se bia ma bread making, catering, ebrekwa unso nya brodo ho adwuma biada. So that is an important thing you have to take note of. So yakasa fa documents are ube here for your application. Another thing I'm noting wa pesa me kan ho asem ye meeting the admission requirements. What selective school? What selective program I person ye? Oh, me masters of education. Me person me question education once what prepare or documents. The next thing is check say school now person wokono. Do you meet the admission requirements? Oh, school ni school fees boy for yes, I have me kwa many adwuma ye. Say what consider any money na no. The next thing to consider is do I meet the admission requirement of the school? Mostly ubeko school be our website no ye were general requirements and ye were department requirements. In be a general requirement ni say and ye were department requirements. Most schools in Canada no say wo ba for undergraduate wo be pay undergraduate na ya. So wo D7 or results ni mu you don't qualify. Won't mean fan bisua de Canada. Or anything more than D7, especially in English, maths, you don't qualify. And there means to. So wo D7 wo wasimu na graduate study na obeye dia. You are just applying with university degree no. Most universities in Canada no on minimum requirements 3.4 on a grade point of 4.0. That is second class lower, depending on the school I'll call it. And see, most schools will require second class lower. But one interesting thing I want you to take note and nipa be brainy when say it is not more about your class. Most of the universities in Canada, no, they do the calculation based on your last 2 years. level 300 ne level 400. Take note of this thing. It is something most people don't know. Admission requirements. Obe school natural say you should have 70% in your last 2 years, in your last 20 courses. That is the last 2 years, level 300, level 400. The reason behind this notion is that most schools in Canada no ehun say level 100 ne level 200 courses ne no just preparations. In University of Ghana linguistics 101, poly 101. They are just introductory courses. In the universities, the courses we do in level 300 and level 400 are the main courses of which major so higher admission. In the betima say minya second class lower, cumulatively unya first class. However, I did better in level 300 and 400 more than you. It's a better family ahead of you. So always check level 300 and level 400 results and say are you good enough. There is a way you can calculate it. Me say me calculate me there. Minya almost 86% in level 300 and level 400. I don't know for you. So you always have to check the requirement of the program. Schools be also a program now will apply. They want you to have a work experience before you can apply. Madam Fugel be apply social work with school be. She had a first class, blah 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 blah. Oh man for me. Actually, me go check program requirements. It was requesting say you should have 2 years as a social worker. So it is important to know the program requirements. All this when you're first class, what can apply, but you don't qualify because that particular program requires you to have a social a work experience. For example, me school me masters of education. No, and only masters if you have been a teacher or you have some experience outside the classroom. So you can have a first class in education, but Ubasa school where teacher do you understand me? So it's very, very important to know the program requirements you are applying to. Then the next important thing when it comes to program requirements, meeting the admission requirements is language. English language proficiency. English language proficiency. They normally a canon IELTS ne sani amano. As there say most Canadian universities does not require IELTS from Ghanaian students. I can say on record, maybe 80% of Canadian universities, any colleges, they don't expect you to have a language proficiency because on him say Ghana now free bano, yeah the brofo natural wade, so you don't need a language proficiency. In this wasi holder and now application you just need to upload your WASI certificate. No what to scratch card account. No one making sure say English where in D7. They will refuse you. But me university in me degree apply no. I have to take a letter of language proficiency, English language proficiency, which I know we all know about, from my school. Now my upload the account. Then that is it. Most Canadian universities do not require you to have an IELTS. In some few cases, that is why it is important for you to check. Last year, minim guy be or apply, they didn't speak him because almost you need language proficiency. There are some Canadian universities almost name some of the schools in Ghana, so they don't accept them. Some Canadian universities only accept students from University of Ghana, Tech, and UCC. So you have to be also a year before you apply. For example, Mimi school I call Prince Edward Hano. Ufri Winiba. Now we apply on Becca shows control IELTS. Best it endorsement. So don't worry about it. A lot of the colleges don't need you to write an IELTS. So don't worry, but it's something that I just have to put in. So far we have spent some time. If or any question quickly, let's go to the question. So can you add NOVDEC? Yes, you can add your NOVDEC. And so your application now call college now a wasi now they apply. I'll bet me do 2 results ni na upload. O person the 2 results ni upload ya because say uploading section year 1 no. I also merge results ni me ni boom. Now was a card now the account so to 2 now they can now we upload it. That is what you have to do. Evidence of English as a medium of instruction. Okay. is Khan College a good school? I have spoken about Khan College because meaning say Khan College and but Khan College is not a postgraduate work permit allowed school. Who apply ne Monday or memo admission, but who year school now to me Juma. We are taking questions quickly.
Yeah, the question be 3B. Na enyoma na waka. Enyoma we ya na ye di musika di no because connection man what sells enyoma we. Obeya ma na oka SOP statement of purpose. Obi to make a contact. Even my man sample say go and use this sample to construct your own. Bones of a ban ne di no kwa no atre. Na SOP the program okwo yo. I'm say what? So, school, Ube call outside school is not something on a silver platter.
No.
You need to work this out.
The visa application and the school application, it's a course on its own that you need to study.
Yeah. Transcript, you say, Uniba, I think they're almost sending job free. I think they will take like
330 CDs.
And they will apply 3 schools on Joe separately. You won't pay for all the schools.
Application, Nankasano. I will come to application cost. Maybe so.
I think that question will be a bizarre question.
Me who question be a trigger. Me kakra obi say, do I have to apply for a college or a university? Which one is the best? It is your own discretion. Una be deciding. Makawa had that say. So if you huna o qualification no form. Sebi Canada na apese o baby dia go for the colleges because colleges no ye for kakra. So also no, I don't want to be doing this. Me person me one after one. So person about universities need for master's straight be ready for hard work because Canada this year no bit ma bodam. Me ti hey edwuma egu me so a me o se me ye no. Work no ye de ma ene o chana we ama ye timi ma reading bebe 90 pages. Yes, adeba ade come assess what is wrong with these guys.
At the moment me were 250 pages I have to finish before Tuesday. I've not started because of previous works.
Canada masters no enya agro into PDF a ohin me ti minya kwa ka meja kwa ko college bia akwadwen me ho but menya de me sa beto abroadi ani mo awie. So the college is nearful, but it is slightly better than the when it comes to academic work. No, so can someone with HND apply for undergraduate program for the best outcome? Yes, if you have an HND, na undergraduate, it's okay. But my problem with undergraduate when it comes to the visa application, proof of funds. You need to show, you need to show funds for 4 years undergraduate study, which is not easy to get. So, who HND, my advice is say, just go for a postgraduate diploma. Our colleges, colleges need postgraduate diploma. Normally, 1 year now 2 year. Until ubeti mark for and no umbe boasing so bekwakoye undergraduate, ebrekwa why did that. For we offering education in Ghana and we want to come and continue, can we apply for these colleges? Yes, most of the colleges have programs on education. They have programs on childhood education. They have programs on special education. Most of the colleges have. The thing is, almost every course at the university levels are also done at the colleges. So, and the colleges are universities. Like, that is what they mean. They ask for resume, CV, considering that these are slightly different. Which one? A resume is the same as a CV. It's just technical languages. So, can I use both my degree and WASI for a diploma? Yes. Some of the schools who apply now degree now you can, like, they ask you to upload your diploma, your WASI and your post-secondary certificate, so you can upload the both to increase your chances of getting admission at the college. So all college. Now with degree, now person will increase you, especially if you are going for a postgraduate at the college. Colleges may be a postgraduate and casa like masters 2 years. In the they will demand a bachelor's degree. College and any nana this certificate beko. Please, how would you know this university will offer you work permits? I have talked about that. Please go and check DLI schools that offer postgraduate work permits. Please explain MSA test. I don't know about that. I went to technical school. How can I convert my results to technical school? Do you mean SS technical school? I already have a master's for work purpose. Is it better to apply for a second master's or a PhD? This is an interesting one I want to attack. Do I have a master's already? A friend called me. I'll be at my master's. You have a master's, I understand. But to increase your chances of getting into Canada, it's better you go for another master's or go for a PhD. The Enyamani too. Please give me time to respond to this guy. You have a master's already. You want to come to Canada. Do you really want to come and learn, or you only want to enter Canada? If you only want to enter Canada, it is advisable to go for a second master's. If you really want to come and learn, it's advisable you go for a PhD. But it's quite difficult to get into PhD programs, you know. But the problem in going for a second master's is that okay, a second master's no. So when to me and church the reason why it is understandable to go for a second master's is you will not get a visa, because the visa officer can assess you and say, you already have a master's, so why a second master's? Do you understand me? So recently I was assessing someone's application and our master's is that or some person be a PhD. So the only thing I was able to do is say the master's no was in mass education, mathematics education, and I'm saying then go for a master's in education leadership. So you explain to the visa officer that, oh, this my master's was specific, it was for mass education. Now I want to move into a different field in my sector. I want to go into leadership. Do you understand me? So if you are going for a second master's, it should still be within your area, but a different aspect of your profession. I think that makes a lot of sense. Please, the HND one again, my network jammed. HND, you cannot apply for master's programs, so go for the colleges. Postgraduate certificates programs at the colleges. That is for the HND. You apply with your HND and your WASI. That is what you can do. How many months does it take for admission to come? I was just about to talk about that, and my phone messed up, so maybe I didn't go to buy you. Maybe I will now buy.
Hey. Oh, I see.
And you go to my laptop for
Okay.
Can you apply to schools? Question, Johnny. After completing Khan College, can I apply? No, you cannot apply. Khan College is not a postgraduate work permit school. I can't want them several times. I don't know why that school is so popular. I did about coming for who Anna. Yet, Bibi Bakuno be a dear ya my school be Canada, Wabani Ghana for any Nigeria for see into member school obium. Because yenya say NBCC New Brunswick Community College ye cheap no. Thousands of applications were going there. And now the school says they cannot accept applications from Ghanaians, and so don't go where everyone is going. Search the internet. There are several information, and go where people are. Lakehead is a perfect place. How many months does it take for the admission to come? I'm just about talking about that. I'll go there. I think the questions are exhausted. Questions now exhausted. In the next 1 minute, questions about so far the Akano. Questions. We have 91 amazing people here, but we are not tapping the screen. At least 10K because one better gift today, just tap the screen. Now information visit visa to Canada and work. Same way. A topic for another day. Obi say Obama visit visa. No be here more Canada or he. You namu pabua na dwane. You namu pabua. Mema visit visa. You see yes visit visa 10 years. Visit visa 9 years or he. You namu pabua na dwane. Sa $8,000 na kutia mi omo biyama visit visa no. Fako pay school bi na tuya. So that is a topic for another day. Is it wrong to select part-time when you are? Please, that thing skipped me. Part-time schooling, you cannot get a visa. Oko selective program a part-timer. You can only be given a study permit if you're a full-time international student. Online, part-time, yeah, study visa. So before you go to your school, make sure your study is full-time. That is very, very important. Okay, yeah, make sure you are studying full-time, because once study full-time, you do not qualify for postgraduate work permit, neither do you even qualify for a study permit to come in the first place. And to make sure you study full time. Another thing, make sure the program you are studying is more than 8 months. It's tricky. Sometimes the program be 30 weeks, 20, 25 weeks, and do 8 months. It does not qualify you for a study permit, neither does it qualify you for a postgraduate work permit. And it's our program now based less than 8 months. Who we school now, untimi nyaduma or Canada. So make sure program no best a 1 year program or more. Is it legal to work in Canada while you are schooling once you enter? Yes. As a study permit holder, I am allowed 20 hours of work per week. 20 hours per week. So me go beyond that. Me we school na me postgraduate work permit. Canada buying fair mami. Obeka se me sua de me boomrano so ntimi nkomi krom. Nti as a student, Canada buying ma 20 hours. Omo a yebeto wo mo no last year for no COVID for no sebio COVID for no. Omo de omutimi adwuma full time. Ye hwe anim say December yi aban besesa no ama ye nso aye adwuma full time. Be ye ba this year the aban say ye de ye adwuma only 20 hours. So depending on when you as and when you have been in Canada, I can work 20 hours. Those I came to meet can work 40 hours. So for now, international students are allowed only 20 hours. You cannot work beyond that. But some people can do cash jobs and other things, but per emrani there 20 hours. How many months does it take for admission to come? I'm just about to talk about. Depending on where you are applying to. Normally, colleges need colleges natural 1 month normal admission. But universities need it to meet check because depending on how school need admission, school be or rolling admission. Ode ba no ohe obi also jini na egu ho no ma she that na say am admission. So depending on the school, so you have to check school admission policy say no more your admission. Into me school I may apply in December, me admission May. No, I mean admission somewhere in April. That's about 3 months. So, and one thing about admission is that apply now when a child, you have to start talking to the school. Someone send you an email. Or can I get an update on my? Send a professional email. Men cause an email you are not a good student. So that is another thing. Okay, we have to be moving. Time in the also. Is it possible to get colleges that has very good free application waiver? It be in Canada. It will have enough to say US no. And the muko who profile of application waiver. Canada for a for music as a munia grow. It had a free application in Sheda and free application in Niha. It is not very likely so being a free application. So it is not very likely you will get a free application in Canada. It is not very likely. And you're very likely when you're some admission waivers you're likely. So it is more possible in the US to get an admission waiver, but in Canada, you make your application fee ready. I'm just about to talk about that. So can you briefly talk about documents? My network was bad. I would mess some meaning now up. I'm reading BS Renewable Energy Engineering. I will complete next year, God willing. Okay, I don't know the question. Can you please estimate how application? Yes, I'm about to talk about that. So, okay, let's move. Budgeting. Now you have selected your school. You have done your documents while it's still documents. You have met the admission requirement of the school. Now you want to apply. Before you apply, you have to look forward. Do I have money for this journey? What is my budget? What am I trying to do? But what must say? So after doing all these checks, my Cherokee province, my Cherokee way, I have settled on the University of Saskatchewan. Something very important just clicked for me, so let me chip it in. When you are selecting programs, especially when you are coming to the universities, We are master's students now back Canada. There are two things. You have course-based programs and you have thesis-based programs. Course-based ni say, oh, they will be at the end on your research be. I know come up the data because me research. And you have thesis-based program, but thesis-based programs need a full-time researcher. So these are the two programs you can apply to Canada: course-based and thesis-based program. Course-based programs, you can just apply. Wait me apply won't be so be. But with thesis-based programs, normally, I will say we need permission from the department you're applying to before you apply. Apply. You have to talk to some of the professors if they would, and you would only get a scholarship in Canada if you offer a thesis-based program. So those who are looking for scholarships in Canada, it is possible. It is not impossible to get scholarships. It is so possible, but they are limited. Unlike US scholarships, it's limited getting scholarships in Canada. So if you want to get a scholarship in Canada, look at getting a thesis-based program. This is the time. Time no pressure. And last month, no one started sending cold emails to professors. Oh, your friend assume see me say to send nipa no cast engineering we next year no. See starting lectures because me your friend say send learn how to send cold email. Sure to baby how to send cold email. A cold email, especially open scholarship for Canada. Learn how to send cold emails. Into call YouTube Nabusa ask how do I send cold emails? A idea also said the then learn how to send cold emails. Cold emails in this area, you start talking to lecturers in the department. If they start responding to that, is how you get a scholarship. But however, that is a topic for another day. Scholarships in Canada is a topic for another day. It is not easy, but again, possible to get a scholarship in Canada. So application is your budget. How are you budgeting? Oh, my gather me document, brady, me transcript, my gather be but what is the budget? Obisa, what is the code email? Just put the code email in YouTube, you understand it. So what is the budgeting? How do I budget? They can study in Canada, budgeting in now start free application fee. Application fee between $50, 50 Canadian dollars to around 250 Canadian dollars. But most schools charge $100. Colleges also charge 75 Canadian dollars. Oh, the visa card ni bit ya. And fan come connection man be anu ntua. Wa bit matana dem no tua. Wa apply school na bi a watua wo application fee no. Ade ba ko so odwen ho ye tuition fee. So wo ba Canada na enye scholarship na wo de ba. Mesra wo say when nya kra no, wo de 1 year tuition fee beba. Se betimi a ensetia we ni na nye pe. Na se de be ya wasum be dwo wo krom ha no. Nti when nya kra no, na nka 1 year tuition die. Ekwan ya befa so de ye na ye kwan ya fa so de ba ye. Enye me na mekire wo. Wo ye adwuma. Wo je bi sin ye min tani bebre. Prof, when nya kra no, 1 year tuition die. O ba na nka ekura wo. And then more suma job. Number 2, living expenses. Canada ha. Abai ni say, ubetina Canada. When you na was say what 10,000 Canadian dollars. And it's more about the visa application. You do have measure that chichimu. And these are things that also when you and flights near the day. The can say Canada is not cheap. So if you want to study in Canada, also buang scholarship, amen. But if you are looking for scholarships for the US, Canada, there's scholarship in here. Their money paduana back Canada because say no we school and krata now to minyan and temno. And cinema you be about Canada. So if you are looking to study in Canada, it is not cheap. Put that in mind. So that is for budget. But will be your budget home question BCC questions related to budget pay. Wait me busana matwaso. Questions related to budget. Questions related to budget. A banisika same studying in Canada. Oh, question B. one of the questions I'm typing is, can I work to pay my fees? I know a lot of you have that question in mind. Say, oh, Naminya first semester, how are fees paid? Fees are paid with Visa card. So you just have to have the fees on your bank account and you pay. Please, will they check your living expenses before entry? The visa has been issued, so nobody will check your living expenses. Once you have the bank statement to prove to get the visa, nobody will check you again at the port of entry. Expenses question. So let me address this question. Can I work to pay my study in Canada? It's sad to tell you the reality. It is no, but it is not impossible. So it is difficult to work to pay your visa, to pay for your study, but it is not impossible. So that is the tietie mu ano no. Nipa dodo na bisa say na me ba metima ye adwuma de atua. Ehye din, but it is not impossible. So that is what I wanted to say.
Let me ask this question to
Okay.
Rena. So who say before answering our cover visa interview, no, you need to pay at least half of the tuition. And also then I can actually
na me bin say no be call but what they are by the mami address it. Nipa be na dwen am say we call visa interview no. In the first place, we don't go for interview until you're online. We submit a visa application no. Me a meti hey sika me tua me dinya me visa pay $1,000.
okay.
1,000 Canadian dollars, 88 million. Canada schools in here will be okay. That is a very important thing I should have talked about. Before so best select Canada school, no. One of I think Metroy Bemre Finti, thank you, Prof, for bringing it up. One of the most important things you also will check how much is their tuition fee deposit. After what check BBA, no, one of the most important things I also say school in tuition fee deposit is saying now the school fees and casa payment plan so it's saying is one of the most important things I also share. School in tuition deposit is saying and the fee payment also is saying. Any tuition fee deposit. What could check school no? Yes, in school fees here 15,000 a year. When your admission, school no be catch you say the be ya meji di say adwoa school no be ban wa ma admission January. Canada school no ma admission January no say or per 30 student wa ma nipa be 100 admission because when him say be ntimi mba. Enti obeka catch you say adwoa the be ya meji wa di say school na ye den a wo be ban. Mamisika na me fan reserve akonyama. So pay a deposit for me to reserve your seat. This amount is dependent on the school. School biya ni di oje. Memi school ameko oje $1,000. Bibinti school ni say onje deposit biem. Maka we inti minimize nipa bebre beko koya application abaha. Me school say omonje deposit be from me school ni University of Prince Edward Island. Oh you interested I'll bet you check it. They say omonje deposit. But most of the schools in Canada edge deposits when you have gained admission. Into gaining admission, you bet your deposit $500, a BJ $200, a BJ as high as $4,000 for deposit. There who omunti was all checking say most of the schools do not refund your deposits. For most of the schools, deposits are non-refundable. I wouldn't say for most. It's like almost all the schools. Some schools refund a part of the deposit when your visas are refused. Meaning schools be or visa refuse or the deposit need be amount or better administrative charges, not the amount. So it is important to know the school you are applying to and their deposit and refund policy. UBA school now, University of Prince Edward Island refund policy. What is their refund policy? Intimitia deposit ni ama me visa ye be ne den because $1,000 enye sika ketwa ye can $1,000 be enye sika ketwa. Do you understand me? In the school we work just say me deposit enye refundable o don sa to abriwadi animu a wadi awie me ntimi nya na hwe. School bi nso be ka say oh say you refuse your visa. Na refusal no enye based on fake documents nkwa dia be disikani bi bema. So in 2016 I make a visa application. Sa school no na the deposit here $5,000. That was in 2016. And I tua deposit is that time minim hwe. Me wie na refuse me no school ni so no ye refuse wa deposit no sika no chemu 2 no amount half. 2 no ko be ma half no. E was so the refusal letter no sending no. No who say one fact fake document into who ajo mansa why you so kwaji fake bank statements no ah the corner you call refuse no o deposit no ahye. So when it comes to fake bank statements remember what another day, but you should always be mindful of the school's deposits obi say sikana she no kre. So be mindful into na prof obi say o say o tua scanning half. That is your decision. Me school ni catch them send a deposit $1,000. Me ntua mroso. School ni be send a deposit $2,000. E be dey $2,500. Inti wo hwe obotom na de anwen bu. Wo hwe school a ne deposit. Obi wo ha ne deposit wo form. But wo re school ni mu o se meji misika ken na. So check the school's payment plan. Me school a me kono. Who be do September, ultimate catch school and say, me and I'm catching me nyeska minya, mama me next month. No, the $50 I can school fees no. The following month, me say minya, be minya, no assign the 50. Into school be adding the policy. So you have to know school no payment plan. Any day umubet my school be or how do na catching say uniska. A while no report to my RCC. I report to my Canada immigration say, Massa branch na mo man permit no ba ha no, o niska o debate your school fees into new student biem ti mo man nkonu krom. So these are all important, relevant information you need to know on the school you are applying to, even before you make a move. So once you get admission, I think I can make one sem after getting admission, you should know the deposit you are paying. How much it will come in your admission letter. Admission letter, no, it will come. Does the tuition deposit affect the visa guarantee anyway? This is a very tricky question. Does tuition deposit affect visa? First, no. Nanka tuition deposit affective visa. 6 months ago, a branch BD Canada immigration court. And I will see you Canada immigration say you're refusing the visa because Canada immigration say on school fees nibi. But it is not like any requirement so be refusing a visa because on I'm trying to make it simple so Betty must say it's more technical than that. Canada immigration and Canada federal court no a rule say Canada immigration no intimi refuse to be visa because on school fees, especially when data demand in so. Do you understand me? So paying deposits does not guarantee or succeed your visa application. However, it's only a pussy application. It's minimum nipa bi obi wo ha otiminya the admission. Ebi ya wo apply in tema September next year. Ni bit mama admission by January. The deposit near somewhere in August deadline. No? So you can apply for your visa. Minimum nipa bi omo apply visa without paying a deposit and they were still giving the visa. So, but however, if you pay some of the deposits, increase your chances of getting the visa. But I've also seen someone who paid $7,000. His visa was still refused. So a lot of things go into the visa processing. There are a lot of factors. This one can affect someone, but it doesn't affect someone. That one affects someone, but it doesn't affect you. Do you understand me? So, someone, please, I have an idea also, it doesn't relate to what I'm saying. Can the schools change the program status from part-time to full-time even after admission process? Yes, you can. Depending on the school, you can contact them to change the program offer. You can contact them. So that is just about that. Deposit ni undecided, so benya visa na wonya. It can have an effect, but from me experience there, me am $1,000 pay. We could share 5,000. They were nya visa.
What 10 minutes to wrap up? Me have far more questions. Time.
Okay. So application process. Why a budget? When we say scarcity na me here, say. Now you want to apply to the school. What gather document why be there are two ways of applying to Canadian visas. You can apply directly or apply through an agent. Agent no You can apply through a registered agent or apply directly. There are some Canadian schools, they don't allow you to apply directly. Until you can apply through registered agents. Oko school website or email of the registered agent I will apply. And applying through a registered agent doesn't guarantee you get admission. The agent is just a middleman. School na fan so on your application man. So it is always advisable to apply yourself. Then another thing, it is advisable to apply very early. This is the time. You know, Kaseya na ye mo school next year 2024 no. January the time nature May so ben dodo. I advise people may advise say ma ho be 10 months for this whole thing. Ye nya intentem oh bread impentem dey challenge person me ko Canada me pen say bi. Wo frame kwa like oh yes ma me ka madam fu bi na chale me dan kan me person me tua dan ni bi person January na me masa for asem films kwa na me ho. Maybe he's even here watching me. Me feel because yemfa mrika nye visa processing. Prof me admission. I sat down 1 month writing my SOP. Letter of explanation to the embassy in 1 month. And I'm the trust I didn't we. Now kote no be atrama. You say beyepe. It would not be the same. Do you understand me? So apply early. See, I mean, no, start planning because most of the schools will close the admission in 1st December. Akwa enima 15th December. Schools now almost said you pay BB idea will no de call February, January next year. Some schools no more pay BB idea. But schools papa obenya my papa no be close December ya anti. Oh, for planner started planning them na ebefa no nyame beye no nyame nya ne saa also movie you have to move nyame beye na emfa saa yenko yanim and see probably also oh yeah yeah nya ne saa enye nti wo buy application wo betua be $50 and the many can one semansa na WhatsApp say Canada application normally no wo betua sika no as no mo upload the documents. You pay the application fee before you upload the document. Nti oko hu bibi say man nya won say hey almost mean 2 years ka breko a may upload the document bia so they will let you pay the application fee before they give you access to upload it. Nti the document is ready. Now go to your application fee now na wo ha hu keke. So make sure you have almost all documents ready. Into your application fee fine. You can still open the portal, apply and gather the documents, but it is always important say you gather the document. Only professors akasa omo de omo email amount. Only wako hu university no wako hu university so maybe send it why yes anya money na we then you apply. Another thing mature and say upload the documents now. Some of uploading no upload the antimi nko achibim. Nti make sure say you have selected the right document. Gwasi na wo pick here sure say no na wa select na wan kofa na picture bia nkɔhye ho make sure and so I always advise say name your document Edward Wasi certificate Wasi certificate here be 3 no Wasi certificate 1 Wasi certificate 2 Wasi certificate 3 akekadi na album for English refer to certificate 2 for meba ho sisi then recommendations Madikan can say me say recommendations no it's more normally no Canada ma wo upload the recommendation be the lecturer no email at ho no man ka so am send no recommendation no aye per recommendation wahala wo per recommendation wahala colleges no mo nje recommendation bia universities no mo de mo recommendation a ban recommendation and answer the FN reference now. There are 2 types. Normally, Canada schools no be either 3 references and answer 2. 2 no bet manufacturer say academic reference bako and a professional reference bako. Academic reference near lecturers and a professional reference near to say be me the headmaster. What you say? Until you just do that. You perceive a teacher soon. Yes, I am away now. Yeah, now what can say ube receive admission? Admission it take it between 2 weeks to as much as 3 months. So when na cha no start this send school ni message, oh maintain mon account say ni say I applied to this so and so, this is my students, this is my application number, I've not heard from you. So I didn't me did say yeah juma pa because I was not hearing from my current university na maintain mon account. Me say no mo admin so they are still reviewing 2 days when I'm in admission letter. So you have to learn how to communicate to the applications office. Sometimes no ebia wo fiefo epia onkrata kwose baby nti no akọ kakra na lastly no wo de mpaebọ twɛn admission no nkɔyɛ application ni wie na nkɔyɛ ɛbɛfa mpacho ofie me fie ni bia na de mpaebọ tie application na kyira de mpaebọ ɛne hebron bɛma na me namu hebron na me gyira masa me sɛ awurade afie mafio nti de ɔgye di bia no. So I think I have exhausted most of the things I wanted to talk about. Nneɛma na mpɛ sɛ meka deɛ ɛfa kɛseɛ na matumi aka ho asɛm nti for now no yɛbɛbie floor no for questions. Na yɛnso yɛtumi agyae abɔ me baabi a mewɔ yi about 3:46 sorry 4:46 nti ɛwɔ sɛ mentumi gyae na mekɔpɛ biribi di nti
less than 1 minute to ask your question. At least we are taking like 5-6 questions. They are very because time no ekopa. It's okasabo by 1 minute and na you have so. It's just under 1 minute. Okay, Otin Frederick, medwat to ahomane so. Ndimiento nka. Yeah, Otin. Okay, so Otin, you're ready. I think campus journalist. Mema wakonya now. What be our question?
Okay. Thank you. Please, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please talk.
All right. There is a lecturer or somebody who teaches at Canada.
Okay.
And he's helping me to do all this application.
Okay.
And he was talking about recommendation and that stuff. Actually, I don't know anything about it. I just want to ask. I hope I'm safe because I've heard him send people there through the what do you call it, student permits, something like that.
I didn't get your question very clear. He's helping you do what?
I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how safe am I in the hands of the person who is helping me to do the application. Actually, I know nothing about it.
How did you meet him?
Oh, well, I'm a teacher in Ghana here,
Mm-hmm.
and a colleague teacher's friend. I think for about 10 years, he has been in Canada, and he has been teaching there, and has been helping people to also go there to further their education. So he is doing everything for.
The only way you can confirm the credibility of this person is to see, say, email now or this or they chat, a institutional email. Say a institutional email la. Me fan say lecturer be or University of Ghana. Ube say ni email, ube say Eugene ewo mu. Obi a lecturer ewo bini ba ube say ni email ni atro uw.edu. That is how an institutional email looks like. And if it is nothing like that, then you are dealing with the wrong person. That is all.
Okay, mami person. I'm a finance person. So mami Fusua.
Okay. My question is, it will help me to get my visa faster whilst I'm coming with my spouse.
Okay. Can you repeat it again so I get it clearer?
I said it will help me to get my visa faster whilst I'm coming with my spouse.
Do you speak to?
I want to ask a question.
No. But mami Fusua na wala ni.
Mami Fusua ubusa say ubenya visa intem ebrekwan no kun ba na. So
yes.
o pese wo apply na new kumba. O pese wo apply na de o ma du achi. Canada study permit no ma kwan say o ba uni ukun anase oyire anase o ma beka ho aba. Ne kura wo ni say it is even an advantage say wo di ukun be di wachi. Kosi say me a me wo hai me riri wo Ghana. Me be du ha minti met my adwuma only 20 hours. Person ka me yire ka me ho a ono bet my adwuma full time. Obet my adwuma full time ma aboa me ma metua me school fees. Asem de kura wo mu ni say obet me do girlfriend kwai di wachi aba Canada. It is possible to come to Canada with your girlfriend. That is if umutimi chire mu nsemu yi a mu betimi aba. However, the problem with coming with your spouse is say me nko ame be say na me hia bank statement 3 billion a udi ukun be ka ho a bank statement na akosoro.
Yeah.
Enso enka de say udi ukun be di akire be because of sika semu na ye nini ntino. Ena de to so minu say akwantu mu nsem no ana nsem ni bebre me be e bia musika semu nse da anye se mu mienu mu bedu be bia mu beda krom ha ufuka akwa na mu ye mienu a mu bo wonko wo ye ba akwa mu bo wonko enti mu mienu we bedu a edan ka wa nya kwa na nye be 1500 ube akwala be ko school ha sa akwala ni so a ubetua enti sometimes the advices unko adi kan ba na ekire no uhu krom a na be ma na so ba na be kan ho.
Yeah.
Se sika ho na mu mienu na betimi aba mumienu na ambra, it is the best you can do for yourself. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, yamba Adobia Prince. Wa man so yentionka.
Madam
Before
Asene
I
Mombre.
Adobia Bekasa no, enka tie boga we mkoto no 12 cedis. Ye ka se krom ha den a bet bra. Mkoto ye meto 10 e ka su no mesu. 12 cedis. Enka tie boga na.
Prof,
Okay,
we dey nyamisha money Mombre. Emi say mo boy juma, but me dey near other boy friends.
Links no.
But what to make
okay, Prince kasa mpacho mi tiom.
yeah, me nya admission academic Canada or Newfoundland. But a chance na me who say omu ma PWG. Those some catch me say me ya after no meet me apply for work offense and postgraduate work permit. But in anu back no so advise me say my member say school nipa then can my member because I think say just 1 year program in my be into ebe ha me into ebe yanka I should wait and apply for different school in September. But me
Advice
so
no.
as me
Metio.
pon ko pente me pese me ba. Oh,
Aha.
but
Problem with me, or Prince Minchwano, Chroma, me
okay.
pon copente muniha. Canada ha, upon copentema, ubetia fisa. This
Mm,
land is built on patience. Canada visa application, uye, na we abotre hu bibia biem. Ubedia di separate a prof. Canada, unya medical request na kwa medical na pass we a chese visa no nya wie. Me train 2 months. And so no ka say me fa passport mbra. 2 months after medical request na me pass in 2 months and so no ka say me fa passport mbra. Inti krom ha se abotre unim abotre a you just go away. Inti minua prince the make sure say advice na nipa ne ba especially say o ba school na oni PGWP na program ni sign 1 year dia men kompo. Say 2 years mpo dia obetimi abewrem. Uremu a after first semester na anu up school fufro. That time no study permit no aka 1.5 year. No one they switch ko school fufro. No one say what extend the study permit no that is a topic for another day. But that 1 year ni dey wow until pay school fufro. Why?
mate, yo, madam ase.
See, I enko na
Sazi.
so now like it. Just o
I have a question. I have a question to ask.
me fa wa untimi
Please, I want to ask a question.
Baby, me nyamfa. Ma me fa second pond, say second pond. Yeah, ma me ntentiem time no etia.
Thank you very much, Senior. My question is, would you throw more light on fashion designing courses? And moreover, college and the universities in Canada, which of them pay more tuition fees? Yeah, I would want to know. And which of them is easy to get admission into the colleges and the
So,
universities?
three
Thank you.
questions. Three questions. In the first place, it is much easier to get admissions into the colleges. It is much easier. Relatively, it is much easier to get an admission into the colleges. There are some colleges that are also difficult to get into. But on a larger scale, it is much easier to get admission into the colleges. Secondly, throw more light on, you were asking if you can get admission into fashion. When it comes to fashion, it is more likely you will get admission in the colleges. So the college system in Canada is more of what we have in the technical universities in Canada. So the colleges are more practical. They do plumbing, carpentry, hairstyling, those kind of practical handiworks. So if you have a practical skill that you want to go to school, then you go for the colleges. The universities are more of academic work. I believe you understand me. So I think your question is much clearer.
Okay, question.
I've
Say
answered you.
akanipa trip near the abewe. Mun ko follow no on TikTok. Who follow na? Who send message obe reply, but message no go straight to the point. And go yeah hi. Good morning. Good afternoon. Man, where
Prof,
are you?
obey me hi. Me part to a woman you. And yes, me name so adi eh? Me part to just 1 minute.
Azebo. Hi, how are you? I'm fine.
I'm reading a paper while I am talking to you. I'm reading a paper. And to buy me hi, sincerely, with all due respect. Hello, sir, Bra Edward. I want to so and so. Go straight to the point with the meeting show.
Okay.
Hi, pa, dear.
I'm tears, my main for fast. Uba, ubisa question and me you so.
Okay, please, thank you. Please, I want to ask if Canadian schools require statements of purpose. Number
If
two,
what?
if Canadian universities require statements of purpose.
I think he joined late.
Number two, I also want to find out that for the Canadian schools that do not require IELTS and those test scores, if one wants to apply there, please, what are some of the processes that one has to go through before one is admitted? And are there scholarships as well, like the US schools? Thank you.
I think you came late, so you have to DM him because, or if you can answer him shortly, he came in late.
So most Canadian schools do not require IELTS. Your first question I've forgotten, and I'm sure pen and I'm sure the question is better. You just DM me and let's talk. Why?
Yeah. Okay. Profalison. Mahmoud ni ya fache me wa kasa mrekia we ni yempo.
My question will be in twofold.
Okay.
He was talking about the fact that you have to get somebody who has school's email. Like if it is Minibal, it must have UEW as part of the email. Here's the case that if the school is requiring about 3 recommenders, I have lecturers, but sometimes they delay. But I have somebody who can help me. But that person is not a lecturer. He's working at the Department of Finance, but not a lecturer. And having an email which has the UCC, just like the lecturer's email. So I wanted to know if I can use him as a lecturer instead of maybe somebody in the Department of Finance or something like that.
I don't really know. I don't know how the universities are able to assess whether the person is a lecturer. But once the person has an institutional mail, maybe you can. The man can't go anywhere because some of the things we cannot say here. My own personal experience, some said the Ghana headmaster for his mind here. Who could you know so many way you can do. I can't explain him.
Okay, yeah, in fact, last person. Mami nyako fast in fact yeah bi Mami nyako into.
Thank you, Prof. Good evening.
Hey, Beman, why you?
We are Mami Nyakwa husband.
Okay.
Yeah, Mami Nyakwa husband.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to find out the industrial, let's say industrial art, like fashion design, plumbing, and other works. If there are colleges in Canada that offer those courses.
All the colleges in Canada offer industrial art programs.
Oh, okay.
And mo be DM said word no o kwa nya say o fan free o bo ho ye
Yeah,
because the
yeah.
free
Then
free ya so
I
o quick
also want to
akra o ka so nya o hwe
follow up
bra
by
quick akra man na efe
okay.
yeah no so hia ba oh okay ma me fa I think that last week maybe was it me fa we mu dia I am fa bio enti ma me nya akode ndem ne na wie
Obi Chubby be well boosters I say our software development based schools available. There are a lot of software development programs. IT courses they say no na say echo. There are a lot of them. Just search the schools.
okay Richard enti
Okay, that me person me bisa ne say so person we postgraduate program in Canada. Is it so necessary to have the course related to your first degree course you offered?
Yes. Unless you are currently employed in something that is different from your first degree. So
Okay,
my first degree was in political science and geography.
all right.
That was in 2015. I
Yeah.
checked. Because my master's was political science. The visa officer, the school will give me admission based on my transcript. But the visa officer will ask me over 9 years, why are you now going for a master's? What is the
Okay.
motivation?
Okay.
Do you understand? So
Okay.
the program you choose should always be related to your previous education. That is, if the education is not so old, or your current employment.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So I went for a master's in education.
That's fine. That's correct. Yeah.
That's it.
okay ma me
So before I say nipa mienu bekasa no, there's something important I forgot to cover. Empower.
okay
And I think you know about Empower because of American. See, about your person based there or Canada, Uniska, you don't have money. You can actually study in Canada with a loan. If you Empower, nipa be brainim sa way. Especially if you are coming from the science background, obey engineering, obey sa programs, you can come and study in Canada with a loan. I'll bet you in 30 years. Empower. Nipa be brainim ho asem. Enti se wonni ska o de ba Canada. But unim say o qualification a obi hwe o paper beka se me ma loan sua de year. Not all the schools in Canada qualify for Empower. Enti kwa website no so na kobuza say what are schools in Canada that are listed for Empower? Unhu sa schools na ubetimi apply sa schools no unya admission na no akope loan wo Empower. Empower betimi ma $50,000. Sebra Fabra school wo Canada. We are obema 30 years self-tutor. But before say Empower obema loan, or say Empower who say sa program na akoye no e employable. We are likely to be adwuma. So for those who don't have money but have good qualifications, how person based in India or Canada no, look at Empower. Just type Empower schools in Canada. Now her programs are bit my fire. It's something important I had to bring across.
okay quick oh I'm man so
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Paucho, me business secretary wo SS. Paucho, se me pese me apply ya me paucho me investment na me apply na se college na me apply.
Business secretary OSS no. Certificate exam ben I'll try.
Secretarial course na me.
No, I'm so weird secretariat course no exam ben I'm try.
SSE.
Very good. This is a ultra the woman say exam now try and they will say exam school no work Canada no bet me verify who say results now they are correct. In your case, the best is to go for the colleges.
Okay, na paucho college no omo ye secretarial course.
And with the baby, you can get many courses related to secretariatship.
okay enti no yenko I think campus journalist medical for what's about enti
And I want to know how we can DM him. Because I have a lot of questions.
Question how you can DM him. Follow him. First of all, follow him. Need tabu screen so I think they will me follow him easily. Edward.
Oh, okay.
Question.
All right.
Oh, question I send them.
I've seen that.
Good. And in the year in 20 years, uncle, yeah, high man, expressions were very high and the own
I
view.
am a short like mini skirts.
Now, like it, maybe no one like I ain't me very bro. Nana, Kojo, Clinton.
woyɛ student wɔ Ghana ɛna wopɛ sɛ woa Canada
O
na
network and yo.
saa
O
ɛtoa
network
Into the Okanom.
matɛmate me
o network and your but try so be position in a casayeti. Okay.
pakyɛw woyɛ student
O network ninti ube DM no why wadaroma. O network na amwaye. Kafra. Shaibu enti emni enko. Shaibu ni nipa odi kind. Right.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, it's you. Hey, Shaibu so yantin kan.
Hello.
Yeah,
That's what I you.
I'm back.
yeah.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Me pacho. Me electronic security technician. And I may be say Juma Ben. I may apply for a Juma or I met me
There's a
NFI.
school for and a student for
I do my
and
dear, never command the school.
for the more especially more drivers no. Me guy bi so USA no otwi 1 mile bia ne sika oje kura nya isi ti ono so edabo for be arrange no drivers for but today is about student and if is another no cry as a pet at that time na or to aso mama but and the time no and this is what you need to do follow the page no who follow am obusuafo na so follow bi say yeah dey be betimi dey news na bremo nyeze ube jani za na oba screen so tap like ne so we dey only achede a type like ne so me hu ze dwumade no aso mo nti ye beja ama say do no akan last word na ye de ne dwumade na ba wie
Yo, Madam Namase, say Munya, Madaji, say Madaji, it's not home. Yeka say, I dare some organ area and sir. It's Nina Moon, what's na say Opas and Panati. Say the mechanic, many connection man, many agents, many Mubruni bia, made him Okrata command wine in Temamount. Nyame kroya ni na edan ene se obeya suti nti mbacho wo pese o connect a e frame Edward EDD_WAD eno na wo soro ho no wo search me na follow me a o message me na e bia me respond ya kai hu se me ye student nti enye breni na me te internet no so especially and then nipa be message me anha me ntimi reply because ochina ye holiday dey bet me nya adagin bebre Emrepe mu no me responde. Kai hu se menye agent na menye